Yo, what the heck is going on, everybody? It's me, Michael Game Show here. And welcome back to the predictions of 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs according to EA and NHL 26. We are now at the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals. I can't believe we actually made it to this far already. This has been kind of a fast playoffs, honestly. It was a lot faster than the one it was last year when it was slow as hell. But now it's been going very quickly. And we are almost there to the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm assuming we're going to get to the Stanley Cup Finals probably by June. I'm not sure when exactly, but it will be around that. But anyway, yeah, here are the 4 teams left for the Western Conference Finals. We have the Colorado Avalanche versus Vegas Golden Knights. And for the Eastern Conference, we have the Carolina Hurricanes versus Montreal Canadiens. Very interesting matchups for the conference finals, I have to admit. But somehow the Vegas Golden Knights have made it all the way to the conference finals. And as I'm recording this, because again, I'm recording this a little bit after they started, Vegas is up 2-0, which I'm very disgusted by. And if I see them in the Stanley Cup Finals, despite their pathetic division and how the team really sucks, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, come on, Colorado, you gotta do a lot better than that. And then Carolina and Montreal, kind of expected it. I wasn't sure about Montreal because, they played in a tough division, but Carolina I definitely expected to go to the conference finals. And I really don't think Carolina is as good as most Hurricanes fans would like to make it out to be. They only played like easy opponents in the playoffs so far. We'll see how they actually do with the real tough opponent with Montreal. And currently their series is at 1-1, so Carolina actually won a game in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, they did the same thing last year, but still. They are now 17-2 since 2009. So yeah, we are almost there. So this is going to be a shorter video of the predictions. And remember, guys, I just want to remind you guys, none of these things are accurate. This is just according to NHL 26. This is not my personal picks. This is not how I think it's going to be or whatever compared to the series. But this is all on NHL 26. I have nothing to do with it. I have no controls over these teams. So if you guys say that I'm rigging them, I'm not. This is what NHL 26 decide. So we are in the conference finals. I think this should be interesting. So without further ado, let's just get this started. And I'm actually going to go into the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals with the Clarence S. Campbell Bowl and Prince of Wales Trophy. And of course, the Stanley Cup. So the last video I did, the Minnesota Wild won the Stanley Cup in the second round. So this is the Stanley Cup, Western Conference, Eastern Conference, or Conference Finals predictions of the third round according to NHL 26. So yeah, up first we got the Colorado Avalanche versus Vegas Golden Knights. Now, currently, like I said, the Golden Knights are up 2-0. My prediction was Colorado was easily going to sweep them 4-0. Obviously, that is not going to happen. I'll be surprised if Vegas actually somehow sweeps the Avalanche. But come on, Colorado has to win at least 1 or 2 games, right? They have to. They're completely falling apart, and they need Cale Makar back because he's been injured since Game 1. And Colorado is completely useless without him. Also, in the first period, they were up 1-0, and then Vegas scored 3 straight goals in the third period, and they won, and Colorado lost. So yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to happen. But anyway, let's see how the Western Conference Finals go according to NHL 26. Vegas Golden Knights versus Colorado Avalanche. So yeah, I'm obviously rooting for the Avalanche to beat up the Knights because I do not want the Vegas Golden Knights to be in the finals. But they probably will. Alright, let's see. Game 1 goes to Colorado. Yeah, like that actually happened in real life. Not. I'm actually very pissed at them. Alright, so next up we got the Eastern Conference Final. The Carolina Hurricanes versus the Montreal Canadiens. Now, a lot of Hurricane fans are like talking so much crap saying how they're like the best team in the world because they haven't lost a game until Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But again, they only played weak opponents. Montreal's a lot stronger than Ottawa and Philadelphia. So let's see how Carolina really does against real playoff teams. Montreal is a real playoff team. Philadelphia and Ottawa are upcoming teams. Okay, maybe you can argue that Ottawa might be better than Philadelphia, but I don't know, the way that they performed this season, I don't think so. So yeah, I hope Montreal destroys Carolina and ends up biting them in the ass. And as much as I really want Montreal to sweep Carolina, I knew it wasn't going to happen. And like I said, Carolina won game 2, so yeah, my real serious prediction is that I think Montreal's going to win this in 6. Ironically, my prediction of the Stanley Cup Finals, well, what it looks like to me now is the Vegas Golden Knights and Montreal Canadiens, which is the two teams I actually saw in real life, in person, when I was in Vegas for my 21st birthday back in November. Would it be hilarious if the finals ended up being those teams in the finals? Yeah, that would be. And technically, it would be the second time they ever met in the playoffs because they actually met in 2021 when Montreal was in the Western Conference. Okay, there was no really Western Conference and Eastern Conference that year, but because it was the COVID Stanley Cup playoffs. It was a weird playoffs because all the Canadian teams were in one division. Like, not even joking. Alright, so let's see what happens in the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals according to NHL 26. Game 1 goes to Montreal, just like what happened in real life. Alright, game 2. Colorado has a chance to go up 2-0 at home, or Vegas has the chance to tie it up going back to Vegas. Come on, Colorado. Okay, Vegas wins game 2, and the series is tied. Alright, so Montreal has a chance to go up 2-0, or Carolina has a chance to tie the series up and go back to Montreal. Would it be a coincidence if Carolina actually wins, and that's what actually the series is in real life? Montreal won the first game and Carolina won the second game? That would be hilarious. Would that happen? No, Montreal's up 2-0. Alright, game 3 in Vegas. Will the Avalanche... One of these two teams will go up 2-1. Who would that be? Go Avs. And they let me down. Vegas is up 2-1. Alright, and Montreal and Carolina is up for game 3. Montreal has a chance to go 3-0. Carolina has to win if they want to keep their season alive. Oh boy. Go Avs. Damn it. Carolina wins game 3. Alright, so now we got Vegas versus Colorado for game 4. Vegas has a chance to go up 3-1. Colorado has a chance to tie the series, going back to Colorado for game 5. Come on, Avs. You've been disappointing me so far in real life. Don't let it happen. Don't lose to the goddamn Knights. Okay, thank you for tying the series. Going back to Colorado. Alright, same situation between the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference. Montreal has a chance to go 3-1, while Carolina has the chance to tie the series and go back to Carolina for game 5. Let's see what happens. Okay, both Western Conference and Eastern Conference are tied at 2. Heading to game 5. One of these two teams are going to go up 3-2, going to Vegas. And please, for the love of God, be Colorado. Yes! Yes! Colorado's up 3-2. Oh my God, please don't blow this, Colorado. I swear to God, if you do, especially to the goddamn Knights, I'm going to be so mad. Alright, Carolina versus Montreal, game 5. One of these two teams are going to go up 3-2. And heading back to Montreal. Go Habs, go. Montreal's up 3-2. Let's go, baby! Alright. So we got game 6 in Vegas. Colorado has a chance to go to the Stanley Cup Finals to win the Western Conference, or Vegas has a chance to force a game 7 back to Colorado. You know what that means, folks. It's time to sim the game. Alright, here we go. First period. Colorado's up 1-0. That guy scored on Aiden Hill, who is not even Vegas goalie right now. That is Carter Hart. Alright, second period. Oh great, it's tied 2-2. Oh my God, Smith. Is that Craig Smith? It's not Riley Smith because there's no R. I'm not sure who that is, but yeah, he scored 2 straight goals. to tie the game. Alright, time for third period. Let's see what happens. Remember, I have to hit the right buttons. Also, I forgot to mention this, but you may notice, I don't know if you will, that I'm in my new apartment for this video. So, technically, even though I recorded my Mark Harvey video first, and I said that would be the first video that be uploaded in my new apartment, this video actually technically will be, because I'm planning to upload this before the Mark Harvey video because I have to get this upload. And I didn't realize that the same person twice scored 4-2. Colorado. It's not 4-2, and that guy scored twice to make it 4-2. Colorado has a chance to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. Alright, about a minute and 13 seconds left. Alright, sorry about that. I was going to say, yeah, Cotter, yeah, I'm in my new apartment now because I moved from my grandma's house. And this will technically be the first video I upload in my new apartment. I'm in my living room now. The one I recorded my Mark Harvey video. And spoilers, my camera shift for some reason. I'm not really sure why it did. So yeah, that was very annoying. So yeah, I recorded that one first before recording this one, even though this will be the first one uploaded. And I did say that my Mark Harvey video will be the first one I uploaded on the channel in my new apartment. That's technically not true. So yeah, come on, Avalanche. Let's go into the game and watch the Avalanche destroy the Knights. Uh-oh, I just... Time out, time out. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find my remote so I can turn on the volume so you can hear what's going on. Oh, it's over here. Alright, I have 1 minute left. Alright, night night folks. That's kind of loud. Alright, sorry about that folks, I couldn't find my remote and I was trying to find it so I can turn, so you guys can hear the audio. And of course Vegas scores. But hey, it's 4-3 now. Oh, Mitch Marner. Toronto is cringing disgust right now. But I guess they're also happy because he won't be going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Oh, there's Vegas mascot right there, Chance. I remember when my dad said that when I saw the first time the Knights mascot, he told me that it's Night to Night, and I was like, it's not Night to Night, his name is Chance. Because, you know, my dad always says that kind of stuff, like something that ain't so funny at all. Mark Stone and Brady McNabb. Mark Stone is injured currently. Oh my god, Vegas, I swear to God, if you tie this game up, come on, Colorado. Score, score, score. Oh, thank God. Colorado's going to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. For the first time since 2022, with the last time they won the Stanley Cup. Yeah, that wouldn't be the game. I think, and hopefully this actually happens in real life, but Colorado's currently down 2-0. Oh yeah, I forgot NHL 26 actually has real coaches instead of like fake ones. Because I remember people were begging them to do that for years. Jack Eichel. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Yes, and for the first time since 2022, the Colorado Avalanche are Western Conference champions, and they're heading to the Stanley Cup Finals. And they beat those goddamn Knights. Thank God. Would that happen in real life? Most likely not. But I would love it if it happened. Because screw the Knights. And Brett Burns has a second chance to win the Stanley Cup because he never won a Stanley Cup. He has been to one 10 years ago, believe it or not, in San Jose, but they lost to those damn Penguins. Screw you, Cindy Crosby. Wait, they didn't show the Clarence Campbell Bowl, which is weird, because this is the Western Conference Finals. Did they show that? I don't think they did. Alright, Colorado is on to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2026, according to NHL 26. Now, it's time to figure out who will be the Eastern Conference champions. Would it be Montreal? Because if they win, they're going to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 2021. Or would it be Carolina? And it's the first time they would go to the Stanley Cup Finals since 2006. When I was 2 years old, by the way. Just letting you guys know. Alright, it's time to sim. Let's hope Montreal wins. Carolina can force a Game 7 back in Carolina. First period. Montreal's up 4-2. Taylor Hall scored. Alex Newhook, Sebastian Aho. I'm guessing this guy is Jake Evans. Just a guess, I don't know. And whoever that guy is. Alright, second period. Ooh, Carolina's coming back. Jake Blake, I'm guessing that's his name. It's 4-3 now. Come on, Montreal, please hold the lead. You got this. You're going to be Eastern Conference champions, please. Montreal's on a power play. And score. That's okay. Alex Newhook makes it 5-3. That guy made it 5-4, and that guy made it 6-4. Alright, 1:06 left to go. Montreal has a chance to go to the Stanley Cup Finals to try to capture their 25th Stanley Cup in franchise history. I really think Montreal can do it. I really do. They definitely have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. There are 1 minute and 11 seconds left. Canadiens, de Montreal. I don't know what that actually means. Something Montreal. Is it the Montreal? I don't really know. Bell Center, because that's their arena name. Montreal would be a great place to visit and watch an NHL game. I saw Madison Square Garden with the Rangers in December, and guess who we're playing? Montreal. Cole Caulfield makes it 7-4. Yeah, 7-4. You know, another place I would like to visit? Toronto. I like to visit their stadium, even though I hate the Maple Leafs. But come on, I would go to goddamn Yankee Stadium in Fenway Park, and I hate both the Red Sox and the Yankees. And yeah, I still go to a game there. It's 7-4 now, right? Yeah, 7-4. Alright, 29 seconds left to go. Ooh, what a hit. Three, two, one. And for the first time since 2021, the Montreal Canadiens are heading to the Stanley Cup Finals as they are the Eastern Conference champions. And I guess technically for the first time since 1993, they are Eastern Conference champions. Technically. Because when they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, they were considered Eastern Conference champions that year. So for the first time in 33 years, technically, even though technically it was 2021, they're going to the Stanley Cup Finals, or Eastern Conference champions. I don't know if they're going to consider. They're probably going to consider for the first time since 2021 if they advance to the Stanley Cup Finals or alive. But probably first Eastern Conference champion since 1993. Will Montreal actually break the 33-year drought since Canada has won the Stanley Cup? We'll have to wait and find out. Yeah, they didn't show the Prince Wales of Trophy either. Okay, that is strange. I have no idea why. Because they did it in the previous videos, but not here. Alright, everybody. According to NHL 26, for the third round conference finals, NHL 26 had predicted the Colorado Avalanche and Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup Finals. Kind of more realistic teams in finals, if I'm being honest, compared to Minnesota and Tampa Bay. Well, actually, maybe more Tampa Bay, but definitely not Minnesota, that's for sure. And believe it or not, these are two teams that actually used to be division rivals. And I know what you're thinking, Michael, what are you talking about? Colorado is in the Western Conference. Montreal's in the Eastern Conference. How the hell are they division rivals? Let me explain. So back in, before the Avalanche were the Avalanche, they used to be the Quebec Nordiques. They came into league during the 1979 WHL NHL merger. Or was it WHA? Is it WHL or WHA? It was one of those two. But yeah, it was during the merger, which were the Edmonton Oilers, the Quebec Nordiques, Hartford Whalers, and Winnipeg Jets. All those teams were from the WHA. I think it was WA. I'm pretty sure it's either WHL or WHA. It was one of those two. I said that twice, but I'm trying to remember in my brain. But yeah, before the merger and the Quebec Nordiques, which are now the Colorado Avalanche, and they used to be division rivals because in Quebec, Montreal's in Quebec, and the Quebec Nordiques were Quebec City, and that's obviously in Quebec, and they were division rivals for many years until 1996 when Quebec Nordiques moved to Colorado. And believe it or not, to insult Quebec, the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup in their very first year. So believe it or not, Montreal actually traded Patrick Roy, yes, the legend Patrick Roy, to the Colorado Avalanche in 1996. And now those two teams that had Patrick Roy, that legend, are going to play against each other in the Stanley Cup Finals. So yeah, coincidence, right? Alright, so yeah, I think this would be the interesting matchup if this ends up being in real life. I think this can actually go to 7. But again, I don't even know if these teams are actually going to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. Because Colorado is down 2-0, and currently Montreal's tied with Carolina. So we'll have to wait and see. Alright, so both teams won their conference finals in 6 games. Let's see how they do in the Stanley Cup Finals in NHL 26, according to NHL 26 in the conference finals, what they predict. So, looks like Game 1 will be in Colorado, just like it would in real life, because Colorado's the President's Trophy winner. So, yeah. Let's see. Game 1. Who will be the champion in the conference finals prediction? Montreal wins Game 1. Okay. They actually won in Colorado. Interesting. So, the Avalanche have a chance to tie the series going to Montreal, and Montreal has a chance to go up 2-0. What will happen? Montreal's up 2-0. Uh-oh, Colorado's in serious trouble, just like they are in real life, because they are actually currently down 2-0, but they're not playing Montreal, they're playing Vegas. Alright, Game 3 in Montreal. Montreal has a chance to go 3-0, while Colorado has to win if they want to keep their season likely alive. Alright, let's see what happens. Colorado wins Game 3. They're down 2-1. Alright, Game 4. Montreal has a chance to go 3-1, and Colorado has a chance to tie the series going back to Colorado for Game 5. Alright, Colorado has tied the series, and they're going back to Colorado for Game 5. Also, if you're wondering who I care for winning this, I really don't care. I would prefer Colorado, but I actually wouldn't be upset if Montreal wins either, because I think Canada really needs to have a champion again, because they've been waiting for like 33 years, and I think at this point it's about time for them to get a championship and let the Stanley Cup stay in Canada, just for a change. They definitely deserve it after 33 years of waiting. All right, who would go up 3-2 back into Montreal for Game 6? Would it be Colorado or Montreal? Montreal's up 3-2. Game 6 with the chance to win the Stanley Cup, the 25th in franchise history, at home. Or will Colorado force a Game 7 back in Colorado? Let's find out. Time to sit this game. Alright, here we go. First period. Colorado's up 1-0. Devontae's. Second period. Montreal's up 2-1. This guy scored twice. Alright, time for the third period. Let's see what happens. Oh boy, this is going to be intense. I would be kind of nervous in real life, even though I'm not a fan of either of these teams. Montreal's on the power play. They didn't score. Oh, Gabriel Landeskog ties the game. It's 2-2. Oh my god, Colorado took the lead. Oh, but Montreal responded very quickly. Holy crap, this is an intense period. Alright, 1:17 left to go. Oh boy, an intense game. Alright, 1 minute and 18 seconds to go. Ooh. Also, if you're wondering about Colorado, if they win the Stanley Cup, it would be their 4th in franchise history. And they never lost in the Stanley Cup Finals. All 3 times they made it to the finals, they won. Every time they made the finals. Oh, what a bad turnover there. Oh, good save. 9.4 seconds left to go. And the good news is I can actually see it a little better because it's closer instead of far away from my old house and my grandma's. Alright, and Game 6 is going to overtime. Will Montreal win the Stanley Cup on home ice, or will Colorado force a Game 7? Let's find out. Alright, here we go. Overtime Game 6 in Montreal. Will Canada get their first Stanley Cup in 33 years? Or will Colorado force a Game 7 in Denver? Oh, I didn't pay attention. Montreal won the Stanley Cup for the first time since 1993. Your Montreal Canadiens are the 2026 Stanley Cup champions according to NHL 26. They won their 25th Stanley Cup in franchise history. Colorado Avalanche lost their first ever Stanley Cup appearance ever. Cole Caulfield won the Stanley Cup, and obviously that's not what the real stats would be. He would play more games than 11. Oh, there it is. Canada will get the Stanley Cup again for the first time in 33 years. Would that be awesome if they actually get that in real life? Hey, you want to know one good thing? At least Toronto ain't getting it. They're like the only team in Canada that I don't want to actually get it. There it is. Who's the cat? Is that Cole Caulfield? I can't tell you who that is. Oh no, it's Nick Suzuki. Alex Newhook? Alex Newhook. Alright. I mean, I don't really care who actually gets it first on Montreal, because there's no one really particular that I know for sure that that's a veteran or something. I'm sure there are veterans, but not that I can think of. Ian Demay. Cole Caulfield. Alright. Oh, the goalie. Yeah, there we go. I hope you enjoy it, Canada. You may not get it in real life, but at least in NHL 26, according to the conference championship round, Montreal won the Stanley Cup. And Canada gets the Stanley Cup again for the first time in 33 years. Alright, here we go. Yep, time for the picture. Hey, you know what's funny? Every single team that actually won the Stanley Cup in the prediction has won on their own home ice. Tampa Bay won on their home ice, Minnesota won on their home ice, and now Montreal won on their home ice. And yep, there it is in the locker room. Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, Ian, I don't know how to say his name. Oh, there it is. There it is. Montreal Canadiens 2025-2026 Stanley Cup champions. And names on the trophy. They'll be there for, I think, 30 years? And then they get retired to the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. I think that's how it goes. I think it's 30 years, right? Well, there we go. Montreal Canadiens are the Stanley Cup champions. I didn't see the goal. I want to see the goal. Oh, it was a weak backhand. How did you not stop that, Blackwood? It literally went, did it went like between his legs? It did. That's a routine stop. How did you not stop that, Mackenzie Blackwood? Terrible goaltending there. Like, Jonathan Quick would have made that stop easily. Alright, end of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Stanley Cup champions, the Montreal Canadiens, let the Canadiens on. Yep. So according to NHL 26, the conference finals champions in the third round, your Stanley Cup champions, the Montreal Canadiens. Woohoo! It would be exciting if they actually win the Stanley Cup in real life. But obviously the record 8-4, that is not actually the record. So I'll tell you guys what the record is if this was actually their record in real life. So their record is, alright, let's take a look at the playoff tree. Alright, there you folks go. This is the playoff tree for the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals, according to NHL 26. So Montreal's record, if this was real life in 2026, would be 16-10. Which means they played in 26 games and won the Stanley Cup. That is their record. Obviously, I don't think this is going to be their accurate record if they actually do end up winning it, but you never know. They have a chance because they only lost 7 games so far in the playoffs. So we'll see. Alright, let's take a look at the Montreal Canadiens player stats. Now I'm just going to scan through it, and then you guys can look at it as well. Oh look, Philip Deneau, a former Los Angeles King. I kind of forgot he was on Montreal. Because apparently we traded him in the middle of the season. Because he wanted to be traded. Because he felt like he had nothing. Wait. Why is this guy created like 5 times? Okay, I promise I did not create him at all. But for some reason he showed up like 5 times. I have no idea why. That is weird. Let's look at the goalies. Oh, wrong one. I want to look at the goalies. Yeah, see, same thing. Like, there was 2 previously, and then Jacob Flowers appears again. I have no idea why. Alright, everybody, that is going to be the end of today's video. That was a pretty quick video. I don't know how long it actually is. Let me see how long I've been recording. 42 minutes. So yeah, it's going to be a shorter video, a little bit editing, so probably close to 40 minutes. So that is the end of this. For the conference finals 3rd round, the Stanley Cup playoffs prediction for NHL 26. NHL 26 had predicted, I keep saying the wrong words, so my bad folks, is the Montreal Canadiens. So yeah, would that happen in real life? Who the hell knows, but I feel like they would in real life and have a better chance than Minnesota. I don't really have much else to say, so thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the Stanley Cup Finals, which will be the last one of this little series. And I will see you guys then. So goodbye everyone, and have a great day.